All right. So first things first. No Diddy, but we gonna glaze. Wait, is my camera set up right? All right, cool. No Diddy, but we gonna glaze over this real quick. We gonna look at this and see what happened. Cause I saw a video or two about this general situation, but I haven't read this article in specific. We gonna see, like, I'm gonna read through it and see if there's much to talk about, but I don't think there is much. Well, we'll read through the article, and the article will give you context. Online race to the crew became unplayable as it was removed for owners' accounts. Okay, you know what? I just realized I don't want to read all that shit. So basically, there was a racing game, an online racing game made by this shitty ass butt studio called Ubisoft that was like a mostly online game, and they took it down from like. They took it out of, not took it down. They did take it down, but they took it out of people's libraries when they took the servers offline. So let's say you pay $60-$70 for the game, however much, and they took the servers down. Instead of letting you have the game, even if the game is hard to play, barely playable, or anything like that, they straight up took the game out your library. So like nobody could play this game, period. And the game was pretty old, 10 years old, so that means it came out like 2014 or something like that. And there's basically a lawsuit going on that's started by a couple people, which, like I said, will be a good thing. There's a lawsuit going on against Ubisoft for taking this game that they purchased and that they were led to believe they owned, but the whole time they didn't. They only owned the license. But let's go forth. Ubisoft's decision still sparked wider concern among video game fans, increasingly concerned about preservation and consumer rights. It is why, despite the fact that for the past couple years, niggas have been calling me a dumbass, I buy very few games, but I buy them all like this. Only time I buy my games digitally is when there is no way to buy them physically. So basically like indie games that live on Steam and itch.io type beat. Any game that gets a physical release, indie or not, I will buy the physical version over the like digital version, because of stuff like this. What happened with the crew, where anytime they feel like it, they will. And this is the largest example, because even there's examples where I know people in real life in the past that got banned off of PSN, and this was like in high school, middle school. So keep that in mind. That this dude, he was one of them dudes that he had decent grades and he had like parents that had money, so his parents was always buying him games. So he had like $1,000, and keep in mind, when I was like in high school, middle school, all that microtransaction stuff was just starting. So when we was playing games, and even if you did have like games with microtransaction stuff, people who were like gamers, we didn't believe in buying all that bullshit back then. Like that's one major thing from when I was younger to now that seriously changed. Like we used to constantly make fun of people who buy microtransactions in video games, whether it be skins or whatnot, because it was always a stupid idea to buy the game than to buy other shit in the game. That's why stuff like multiverses pisses me off, even though like a little bit later we're gonna try it out, because they maybe added something that could be revolutionary as far as their game goes. Now, as far as going back to the microtransaction thing, this is before microtransactions. So when I say he had thousands of dollars of games in there, like every little game that came out for Xbox 360 at the time. No, this had to be middle school. But Xbox, no. This was middle school, but it was late middle school. So, yeah, he had a PlayStation account, because I said it was his PSN earlier. He had a PlayStation account. He was playing Grand Theft Auto or whatever, and basically he pissed off somebody. He was talking shit in a Grand Theft Auto lobby or whatever. He pissed off somebody, and his account got banned. And to this day, that shit would be banned. That shit is still banned. And all those games that he purchased on there, because he was one of those people that will buy those little games that you never heard of. So like, when I tell you his account was banned, it was banned. It was gone. All of the games he brought, like if it wasn't downloaded on that console already, cooked. He didn't like to the games he owned but didn't have currently downloaded. Cooked. And this was back then. This was before we knew about bug reporting, people hacking you because they're angry. We jitteries. We don't know about all this stuff, and we just learning. This is how we learning about it. So like that experience in my life taught me, don't buy a game digitally unless there's literally no other way to play the game, and I seriously have to play the game. Cause like there's been a couple games I completely skipped out on because there's been no physical release, and I refuse to play digital only games unless it's a certain few special games, which also goes into the conversation I keep bringing up. We need to bring back demos, not half-assed versions of the games where it's the full fucking game, but we calling it a beta because you want people to hold their reservations and not be able to say shit because they gotta technically say, well, this is a beta, maybe they'll fix it. Blah. No. Take them vertical slices of the game. You give IGN and all that. Put that shit out for free. Say, hey, if you want to try our game out, go ahead and play the free demo. But like I said, a lot of studios won't do that because they are very scared that people are going to play their game, say this is ass, and not want to buy it. They're trying to get as many day one sales as possible, whether that be through trickery or honest means. That's why I say every once in a while, a game like a Monster Hunter Wilds or something like that, even though I may not like Monster Hunter, still, I can respect the fact that they're confident in their game and they're confident in what they're releasing by releasing a demo ahead of time, even though that was called a beta and that was actually a beta. Stuff like that where you're releasing vertical slices of the game ahead of time so people could try it will never not be a good thing and will always be pro-consumer and will always be something I advocate towards. Because like I said, my job is to arm you with knowledge. That's what I like doing. I like teaching people stuff, but I don't care about teaching you niggas algebra and no shit like that. Go ahead and go to a YouTuber that will teach you that stuff. When it comes to stuff like this, I like using these types of concepts to teach these ideas. Be a good consumer. Even though these corporations don't care about you, raise your standards, raise your expectations, vote with your wallet. But now to go back into this, that experience that I was talking about told me to don't buy games digitally unless it's the last and only option, and if it's like a game that I know I'ma like. Number one. Number two, this is another thing that I knew about for a long time. The whole thing where, long story short, whenever you buy a game digitally, you're not buying ownership of the game. You're basically signing an invisible agreement that says, yes, you're allowed to play this game as long as we feel like letting you play the game. And if we ever feel like taking it, we'll take it. That's why, even though Concord doesn't work, I would never delete that shit off my console. Because I was in the Concord beta and I haven't deleted it and will never delete it since. And if anything happens with my PlayStation 5 to where I need to reset the damn hardware, I'm gonna just buy a Pro. Anyway, back to this. Imagine you buy another example, another reason. Y'all remember what happened with PT, where if you would have deleted PT off your, because I actually had PT, but I didn't play it, but I deleted it for to make space for COD at the time, because a new COD that came out and I got it. It was COD or something like that. New game, period. I came up and I got it, and I was like, oh, I'll just download it again when I'm ready to play it. Then they took that shit off the store, and I was sitting there like, damn, all these people selling their PS4s with PT on it for double the price of the PS4. I could have sold this shit, got a new PS4, and had all my games still, and got some new games. But it's experiences like that. Oh, I forgot to turn on my filter too. It's experiences like that that really taught me, like, yo, never buy these damn games digitally. But this is a better explanation if you don't really understand that feeling. Imagine you buy a pinball machine and years later you enter your den to go play it, only to discover the paddles are missing, the pinball bumpers are gone, and the monitor that proudly displayed your unassailable high score is removed. Now, I feel like this example is too generous. Imagine you have a pinball machine for 15 years and they go in your den and they just take the whole machine, because that's what they're doing. Imagine they just take the whole wait, hold on. Imagine they they got movers in there and all that. They just take the machine in the middle of the night when you're not looking, when you're not noticing. That's a better example in my opinion of what they're doing. The plaintiff's lawyers wrote in a new lawsuit that's first recorded by Polygon Turns out the pinball manufacturer decided to come to your home, gut the insides of the pinball machine, and remove your ability to play the game that you brought and thought you owned. The fuck on my face, Eurogamer. Y'all know how I feel about that bullshit. That shit out of here. The lawsuit alleges that its plaintiffs and likely many others were unaware that legally they only owned the license to the software. And what do I always say? Most people, whenever they use technology, most people walk around. Where's my phone? Actually, use this phone for an example. I just had it in my hand. Oh, here we go. Even though this is like one of my backup government phone type phones, people will spend $1,000 on a high speed, like crazy, technologically crazy, decked out computer. Niggas will spend $1,000 on a computer every year that they carry around with them and use day to day for what they consider very necessary and vital interactions in their life, and they don't know how to use it. Most people don't read the terms of service. Most people, they get on there, they click okay. They just want to get to do whatever they trying to do with whatever that software they got. Whether it's a game, they trying to get to playing the game. If it's Microsoft Word, they try and get to typing out their essay or whatever. Most people just click okay until they get to the screen that they want to see. There's another example of that. If any of you niggas ever read terms of service before, because like a lot of these terms of service are copy paste, so a lot of the time you could, like, once you read one, you've read a lot of them, scan over them, and just like, if you see any new sections that you're not familiar with, read that. But like, all of them have this in there, and and I've known this since middle school. You've only been buying licenses to this games, because like I said, the thing about my friend where his PSN got hacked from GTA Online and his whole account got clapped, never to be seen again. Thousands of dollars of games on his fucking account. And I wouldn't give a fuck if you brought one $20 game on your shit digitally. That's $20 flushed down the drain that I now have to spend again to re-access that property legally. So it's like, no, this shit is like, shit like this is not cool. It's not fair. Plaintiffs are now seeking approval for a wider class action, which would pay out for owners of the game. Yes, they should refund everybody the full price of the game if you're gonna take it out their fucking library. Even if the game doesn't work and you took the servers down because it costs you more to leave the servers up than to take them down, I would rather have a non-functional game that doesn't work still on my system. Like, I would rather. Don't take that shit out my library. Even if the game don't work, let me re-download it. Or let me keep it on my system. Because that's another part to this. Even if you have the game downloaded, next time you boot it up, Uplay or Steam or whatever, it would manually go on your computer and delete the file off your computer. So even if you had the game downloaded, still you couldn't access anything. We announced on the 14th of December 2023 that after almost a decade of support, we will be decommissioning the Crew 1 on the 31st of March 2024. A Ubisoft spokesperson told Eurogamer earlier this year. The company has declined a new comment on this legal action. While we do understand this may be disappointing for players, it was necessary due to server infrastructure and licensing constraints. God damn, that shit started up loud as a bitch. Oh, I also forgot to turn it down. Ubisoft's decision helped spark the Stop Killing Games campaign, which aims to end the practice of destroying games after sale to their customers. Yeah, because I don't know about you, but like they said about the pinball machine, this is where it makes more sense. Like, imagine you buy a game and then, like, for example, I feel like everybody that got Overwatch 1 should get together and do a lawsuit like this, and we should sue the fuck out of Blizzard. Because it's not fair that I brought a game and I ain't get shit for it. Like, I brought an unfunctional game. Like, where is it? Where's my fucking dick? Where's my fucking... Damn, I don't know what case it's in, and I don't see my... Oh, I see my PS5 case. Where is it at? I need to find this if I can show you. Because I need you to physically see this. I need you to physically see the disc so you really understand how I'm bumming. Here it is, right here. This disc, this right here, this disc, this is my PlayStation 4th edition copy of Overwatch. This disc is useless. I brought a game that is useless. I swear to God, if I pop this shit in my PlayStation 5 right now, because I've done it since Overwatch free to play update came out. If I pop this shit in my console, I will not, I promise you. Why does it say, oh, if I pop this shit in my console, it will not start downloading Overwatch 1 and just give me a screen saying non-functional where I can only use the offline parts of the game. It won't even do that. It straight up, the shit will only download Overwatch 2 if I put this in my PS5 or PS4. Excuse me? So like, I think everybody who was affected by that, by Blizzard, you know, when we all felt cheated, we should come together and sue these niggas. First off, we don't like Blizzard. Second off, we should come together and sue these niggas for that bullshit. So I haven't been affected by this one specifically, but I do have experience with this. But go woke, go broke niggas wouldn't be able to say that same thing because they don't have experience with games at all because they don't play them. Over 300,000 people have since signed a petition to the European Union that calls out for, that's what EU means in this context in case you're not understanding, that calls for measures to ensure games remain playable, get legal backing, specifically games that remain in a working state with an offline mode when publisher support does wind down. Excuse me. Ubisoft subsequently committed to providing offline modes for The Crew 2 and The Crew Motorfest, which will be playable if, more likely when, those games also get their servers switched off. While there's no suggestion game publishers will be required to keep online game servers active forever, which this part, now this one, usually, like I said, is big fuck corporations, but this one I can understand because paying for server infrastructure for like 15 people to play the game, it's not really worth it, gang. Like as much as it costs, like if you're ever doing anything in business, period, where it costs more to do that thing than the money you're getting from that thing, okay, that sounds vague. If it costs more money to keep the server up than the amount of money you're making from the people playing the game, it makes more sense as a business to cut the fucking servers off. And being required to cut them on at all, that would destroy like any developer ever wanting to put online in any video game ever. Because imagine going, if I put this game online, if I put this game out and I give it an online mode, it doesn't matter if it's 50, 60, 70 years into the future. If the company doesn't get shut down permanently, we have to keep these fucking servers on. That's burdensome, especially for like games that have like older game studios that have been around and have older games that have online that would now have to retroactively go and put the online back. Like, that shit could be burdensome, and that shit could cause a lot of studios unnecessary financial ruin for something that could otherwise be as simple as a phone call to the server company saying, yeah, shut the servers off, nigga. We're gonna tell the players we're shutting the servers off. Shut them bitches off. Give them niggas a couple more weeks. We're gonna make all the cosmetics and shit free. You're probably gonna get a little spike, but after that, cut that shit off. Like, that would be unfair, but letting them completely destroy games that could otherwise be playable, like, that's not fair either. There does seem to be a greater acknowledgement that consumers lack awareness of what they are acquiring when they buy a game, which is true, and which is why they're trying to get you to click on that. And Steam, they now have this shit where whenever you go to buy a game, they warn you. Now that we're done talking about that shit, let's talk about South of the Midnight. So a little while ago, I saw South of the Midnight at the Xbox showcase, and right now we got a couple articles and a video about it, and the game looked cool. I could tell the game didn't just have a black character. The game was actually made by black people, and we could tell this because they use the word trifling. Now, for those of you who aren't black and don't know what the word trifling means, fuck you. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna be the one to ruin a word for my people. But what I will do is I'll watch this video and we'll see what the gameplay is looking like in terms of just overall presentation.
Hazel is coming into her power. She's a
this shit looks wonderful.
who, through this adventure, finds the true nature
This shit look fire.
herself.
This shit look
as
fire.
a leader. She finds her magical powers.
She literally has black girl magic. Y'all is fun. That shit that you could tell that it isn't a bunch of fucking white people in a boardroom saying we want to appeal to this market. That is actually Negroes. Cause a Negro would do some shit like that. They're not gonna tell you that the game includes a magical black girl or that it includes black girl magic. Nigga, if it was Caucasian people in that boardroom making them decisions, they'll be like, make sure they really know this game includes black girl magic. Like, no, he just said magical black girl. And me as a Negro, I just instantly knew what the fuck he was talking about.
A world of possibilities she did not know existed.
Oh, this movement looks fucking fluid.
Is a weaver. She's inseparable from her weaver.
Why the white person gotta... Why is it one of the first things I hear in the trailer with a main character that's a black woman? I gotta hear about how she's a weaver. What if her hair real? What if she really grew that out? Weird ass nigga. Get that caucus man fire. Get that nigga the fuck up out of here. I'm playing.
For abilities. All of them are calculated to make you more aware or continuously aware of how the weaver sees the world and how she can pull from the world to traverse.
Oh shit, we airbending, nigga.
That normal human
Avatar Aang? Nah, Avatar Aang.
Metaphor.
There's an apostrophe in there if you couldn't hear it.
Abilities as a player.
A apostrophe Aang. Okay,
The
I got it.
trauma in creatures. You can see it. It's like a cancer.
So the ability to weave is you can take these
Hey,
of
black women.
and release it from each other, release it so the good can get in. So the good.
Let me clap it up. I didn't even realize it. And my clap it up button didn't work despite me opening the fucking folder. This shit's Kenya, guys. It's Kenya, guys. Hopefully it'll be better than Kenya with his shitty ass bosses, but it's Kenya, guys.
That's what I love about Hazel.
Instead of Kenya, it's Kenya.
Are all a part of
Kenya.
There is.
It's inspired by textiles and crochet and knitting, and we wanted to sort of take back this, which is traditionally considered more of a feminine art, and make it this powerful, beautiful.
Anybody who thinks knitting is a feminine art is a dumbass.
This is how she does magic, is by manipulating these tangible strands.
Okay, so, cause I heard there's like and I'm saying I heard cause like I looked at a headline, but I heard there's like a whole documentary that goes with this, but the person above said, like, I guess he collected notes from the previews or whatnot, and we're gonna read them out, and I'm gonna talk about what I think about them, basically. Set in American South. Oh yeah, we gonna be in South Carolina, nigga. I'm gonna be rolling my little dumb ass up and down Myrtle Beach like, yeah. Yo, Charlamagne, let me get a drop. Yo, what's good, Dookie? They call you Captain Atlanta. Niggas don't even really know you from South Carolina for real. Yeah, I love to see it, man. Cause like another thing I like about this too is that this is not another. Cause like we fucking get it. Black people fought through civil rights. We get it. Rosa Parks sat down on a bus. Martin Luther King said, I have a dream, until somebody who's probably a government official shot that nigga in the face. All right? We fucking get it. I would love for both in movies and video games, and we're seeing that in cartoons now, where they put more spotlights on characters who are just characters. Like Tunerific Tariq said it the best. Here's the way you make a good black character. You make a good character, you take a brown crayon and you color their skin brown. That's how you make a good black character. Stop trying to make a good black character. Make a good character and then color them black. Not all black people fit into this one archetype that could be perfectly represented with one type of archetype. There's black people who are emos There's black people who grew up in good neighborhoods. There's black people who grew up in bad neighborhoods. There's black people who grew up in the trenches being a good kid. There's black people who grew up in the trenches knowing what a switch was. There's black people who grew up in a good neighborhood, in a good situation, being misunderstood. There's black people who would be seen as fucking weirdos by their peers. Go around black people, they're too white for the black kids, too black for the white kids. There's some people who are known for fitting in their community. They're that cool guy walking down the block. It's a whole different range of black people. So one thing I'm glad about is that this game is not another game set in fucking civil rights Alabama. Like characters like Lee from The Walking Dead, I like. Cause Lee was a regular fucking person and he was just black. Like, what was his job? He was a history teacher for the Civil War times. He was in the back of a cop car, and I understand people got their issues with that and shit, but he was in the back of that cop car, but he wasn't in the back of the cop car because he was a fucking drug dealer or a mafia don or a gangster or some shit like that. He caught his wife cheating and killed the nigga that was cheating. Like, real shit, if you was in the same situation, your ass would have probably killed that nigga too. So it's like, I like stuff like that. Anyway, to go back to this, comparisons to Kenna Bridges Spirit. I swear to God, I didn't read this. Like I said, this is not Kenna, this is Kenya. Kenna. Nah, like Kenah. Kenna. This shit ain't Kenna, it's Kenna. Kenna, instead of Kenna Bridges Spirits, Kenna Walkway of Spirits. Face off against mythic creatures from southern folklore who control each region. Hopefully it's not a boss rush. Hazel is an airbender who uses magic white threads to control the world around her. Oh shit, she making shit bend to her will. She a dom. Yeah, I know some niggas gonna feel real kinky when they play this game. They gonna feel kinky and curly like Negro hair. Yo, what's good, Volts? They gonna play this game. They gonna be like, oh, she making everything bend to her will. Yeah, I like that. Especially if it's a submissive nigga named Will playing the game. Oh, they really gonna like that. They gonna be like, ooh, she making things bend to their will, and my name is Will, and I'm submissive. Ooh, bend me over, Kenna. Ooh. Alright, traversal in the world with a double jump air dodge. Air dodge! Let's go! Smash Bros mention! Let's go! Alright, you have a double jump, air dodge, grapple, glide, and more. Only thing I hope, because I feel like Kenna did a good balance with this, but I hope this isn't one of those games where you press a button and like your character starts doing this and they start trying to do 20 things at the same time. They start trying to play chess while they fly, while climbing up a wall all at the same time. Hazel is a no. Traverse around the world, unique stop motion animation style. One comment I did see, which is probably one of the top ones I liked, for the art style of this game, as you can see, has like a stop motion type of aesthetic where the frame rate is weird. Like different items on the screen don't all run at the same frame rate. Like there could be an accessibility thing where certain people like may not be able to, their eyes and their brain may not be able to handle that with like people who are photosensitive and whatnot. So that is one thing that I do hope they have an option for, because I remember I'm not even photosensitive, but like in the example they mentioned in Spider-Man with the Spider-Verse costume, you could toggle it on or off, and I just didn't like the look of it, so I toggled it off. High praise for the soundtrack and audio design. That I'll have to see when I actually get my hands on the game. I hope it's not a bunch of fucking African tribal music, because that's another goddamn problem too. Like, I'm not saying there's no place for them African tribal games. All I'm saying is like, we have like 30 Zows. Like, not every black ancient mythology game has to go into like the spirits of ancient times and stuff like that. Like, we get it, bro. Like, I'm not saying that instantly make a game trash or nothing like that. I'm just saying it's one of those things where it's like, we get it, bro. I want something different. Third person action combat. I love to see it, man. Y'all know I love me some third-person action combat. Like, what was that game I was playing the other day? The unfinished one, Axe of Blood. Like, Axe of Blood is really freaking good, and it was cool, and it was a third-person action combat game. Even though that one was less over the shoulder, was more pseudo overhead and like somewhat over the shoulder. Like the camera was kind of locked to your shoulder, versus this game, like in the gameplay, it looks like the camera's more hard locked to the beautiful black woman, more hard locked to your shoulder, more hard locked to your behind the back of you. Unreal Engine 4 targeting 60 on Xbox, which means when niggas like me playing on PC, it will be better. Coming 2025 to Xbox, PC, and Game Pass. I will be playing this shit on PC because I was never stupid enough to get an Xbox, and hopefully this is one of the games that they toss to PlayStation so that I could get it physically, but I will be playing this on Xbox. The fuck? Come here. Come here. Come here. Over here. Over here, because I thought you did something. No. Over there. 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Over there. No. All that space right there. Figure it out. Anyway, my fault. Anyway, let's exit out of this and keep going. Is this article or no article? So it was an article from IG and an article from somebody else, Eurogamer. Let's see if either one of these have a video link. This is the shit that I saw at the Xbox joint. Okay, cool. A documentary. Oh shit, here it is. Oh, that bitch is 30 minutes. Yeah, we're gonna read about that shit on the IGN website. Cause I am gonna watch it. I'm just not gonna watch it on stream. Let me throw it over here. Cause like what I'll do often with like videos and shit like this is I'll pull it up and then off stream I'll watch it. But there you go. That's the name of it. And if you want to copy the link for anybody in chat, where is it? For anybody in chat, there you go. There's a link. If y'all want it, or if y'all just want to see it visually, so y'all could copy it into your own browser and go straight to the video. Have fun. Whether you adore wait. Okay, that is the first paragraph. South of the Midnight is set in a part of the world we don't see too often in games. The American Deep South. Did they specify where? That's what I want to know. The American Deep South. It isn't just a backdrop for you to fight monsters, but rather the entire premise on which the adventure sits, with characters, folk, lore, and mythical creatures, all drawn from real world places and stories. During a hands-off demo, I saw flooded wetlands. That's what the Tutis be calling they lower regions when they see me. That's what they be calling they fupa. They be calling it the what the fuck do they call it? They be calling it the flooded wetlands. Yeah, I like that name. Gives me good flashbacks. After a recent storm, mosquito riddled swamps. Yeah, that's what they also say when I hit it. I be having so many bumps and bruises on that shit. Not from SEDs or nothing, but from me hitting it with power. That they be saying, oh shit, it looked like a bunch of mosquitoes bit my shit. Like I just walked through a mosquito ridden swamp, butt ass naked. And Australian's antebellum manners. This nigga trying to flex the one fancy word he knows. Each infused with elements of fantasy I'd not seen elsewhere. Yeah, cause like I was hoping that this game wouldn't get paired to Forspoken, and it looks like I don't have to worry about that. In terms of like setting, these exotic places fit nicely with an equally unusual art style that emulates stop motion animation, yet another rarity in games, yes. And one that would be sure to fog up that person's glasses. The whole thing looks like it was ripped from the pages of a children's story book, which I really dug. Me too. It definitely took some blah 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 blah. It can sometimes be pretty difficult to understand how exactly a game will feel to play during a hands-off demo. Basically, whenever you're watching somebody else play the game. Fuck all this noise. How long is this article? Oh, actually, no, that's like 90% of the article right there. Oh, thought I had a mosquito on my shit in real life. Inspired blues and jazz intensifies, and the lyrics tell the story of whatever beast you're tracking down. That is a rare thing in games. Like the only game off the top of my head I could think of that strongly emphasized jazz was Ape Out. And the last time I played that was like a demo a million years ago. That's on my older channel though. For those of y'all on the stream, if any of y'all remember my OG channel, QaptainSlander Quarter Circles, well, that's what it's called now. That channel. Each level has you facing off against a cryptid from deep south folklore as inspired. Oh wait, I read that. It was an enormous alligator called Two-Tone Tom, based on actual legendary creature. Oh shit, that's another good thing about this game. It's gonna start putting people on to more like black history that they didn't know. But what's Two-Tone Tom? He's a legendary alligator in the southern United States who terrorized swamp residents in Florida and Alabama. The name originates from the legendary alligator having lost all but 2 toes on 1 or more feet to a steel trap. Okay, so what does he do? Two-Toe Tom is featured in a video game South of the Bit. Yeah, that's it. And a big talking, yeah, but what does he do? Fuck it, let's read his origin a little bit. Story of Two-Tom originated from the 1920s. Who said story one of the earliest written accounts came traced back to in the book Two-Tone Tom, blah blah blah. What's the nigga's origin? Oh, other sources attest that Two-Tone Tom, after leaving Alabama, took up residence in Sand Hammock Lake between Esto, Florida, and blah 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 blah. Damn, like what does the nigga do? What's his story? Yeah, like I see in pop culture references, but what the nigga do? Whatever, bro. Thought I was gonna get a little bit of a history lesson. But the fact that shit is barren and desolate and the only reference to it is south of the midnight, maybe a lot of the cryptids and stuff in this game that are lesser known outside of that region of America is gonna put more people onto these tales and really let more people know about them and like get more people into them. Cause like when it comes to mythology, what's some of the popular mythologies around the world? Greek mythology, Egyptian mythology, ancient Mesopotamian mythology. Like those mythologies and those tales of like gods and heroes are popular, but when it comes to America, only ones that niggas really know about is one of the motherfucking goats, John Henry, and the other goat being Paul Bunyan. Paul Bunyan, he's not John Henry, but still. And for those of y'all who don't know who it is, I wish I could remember the name of that fucking series, man. I should call my mom and ask, but I don't want to bother her. It's 9 o'clock at night. Let me see. It should pop up. Because there was a movie. And it was a movie about a black character, so nobody fucking remembers it. John Henry. Movie. No, what the fuck is all this? That is not 2020 film. No. No, get the fuck out of here. What the hell is that? Movie old. Yeah. Yeah, this shit. Wait. Is this an animated movie? I'm not gonna play it because I don't want to risk the copyright, but is this an animated movie? The fuck is this? What the fuck is that? No. Yes! Whatever movie this is. Whatever movie this is.
I had those
Yeah, John Henry 2000. There we go. Yup, this is exactly the movie I'm talking about. Exactly the movie where all the dudes that arm wrestled him couldn't beat him, and only his crush could beat him because she kissed him on the mouth and then slapped his hand on the table. Yeah, this John Henry movie. Apparently it's on YouTube, so you know you could go through there and watch it like that. But yeah, you get my point though. Like stuff like this is like if somebody really asks me, say something from American mythology, those are only 2 I really got. Oh, 3, Bigfoot. All Americans got in popular culture is fucking Bigfoot, John Henry, Paul Bunyan. And really niggas only know Bigfoot. So putting more people on to that history, especially the black side, I fuck with that. That's what games like this do. And I hope that this game comes out and it is fucking a universally agreed game of the year, like Shitty Ring or Boring Gate 3. At first the music started slow with the so does it have adaptive music or was that just a track? At first the music started slow with a slick bass line and a choir whispering two-toe-tom, two-toe-tom, two-toe-tom. But by the time we unravel the mystery of the mythical gator and progress into the final confrontation, the chorus reached a fevered pitch. What the fuck does that say? The words of which told the tale of poor old Tom. That could be fire if it has adaptive music in the same vein as like a the name of that shit. I mentioned it earlier. Ape Out. If that's what this game has, oh, I love it already. All of these components, the setting, art, and music, set South of Midnight apart in a major way and made me extremely excited to get my hands on it. Me too. The flip side of that is that what I saw of gameplay offered far less originality. Wait, what? Combat looked like a pretty by the number system of dodging, striking, and finishing moves that are quite well trodden, and exploration relied on double jumping, mid-air dashing, and grappling to distant locations that are pretty standard stuff. The boss fight against Two-Toed Tom, for example, was a very repetitive process of leaping over telegraphed attacks and wailing on the gator when he presented obvious opportunities to do so. Now, I'm not gonna say what he's saying is a lie, but I'll put it like this. Usually when developers play games, they play games the right way. It may not be the same when people like me get the game in their hands and they play it and they have their own creative solutions to different problems and stuff like that. So that one's still out for the jury. Also, I didn't see the gameplay that he saw, but if it has a typical system, but it's not that bad, I don't mind. Oh, sorry. Bigfoot. Oh, you figure that out. Anyway, Compulsion Games that says while they expect gameplay to be engaging, it isn't nearly as much of a focus as the story, music, and other elements that they've clearly put a lion's share of the work into. So basically, this is more of a game for the culture of what they're putting in the game, more so than the gameplay necessarily. Still hope it's a Game of the Year contender. Instead, they're keeping levels relatively short for a 10-ish hour story and putting all their chips into South of the Midnight's exceptional presentation and world building, and so far I'm convinced they just might pull it off. After all, even without playing it myself, it's made a great impression on me. Here's hoping it delivers when we finally do get to play it next year. I hope the same thing, man. I really hope the same thing. There you go. See, you get foot. Anyway, my dog likes to lay on my foot under my desk in case you're wondering what the fuck you get foot means. Anyway, they have the same impression that I have. I really want this game to come out and I really want this game to succeed and do well, because this game looks like it's going to be a wonderful game for the black culture. Even if it's not the biggest hit ever, which I hope it does become, it looks like it's still going to be a good 10 out of 10 game for representation. And especially this hits closer home to me, because I was a nigga who knows about that southern shit. But